Hello everyone. Through this video we are going to discuss question number 11 and 12 of exercise 4.2 in the chapter of determinants. So these questions actually we have to prove using properties of determinants. So proceeding with question number 11 for sum, we have to proceed here with the LHS. This is the proof part. Starting with the LHS, let's once more write down this LHS part in the solution. A minus B minus C, then twice A, here this is twice A, then twice B, B minus C minus A, this is twice B, then twice C, here this is twice C, then C minus A minus B. Now if we observe the right hand side, our requirement is mainly A plus B plus C. So basically for getting A plus B plus C, what do we have to do? If we proceed, suppose if I replace C1 by C1 plus C2 plus C3, would it be possible for us to get the form A plus B plus C? Suppose I check the first quantity, A minus B minus C plus twice A plus twice A. The result will be something different, like 5A minus B minus C. So if we proceed column wise, it will not be working. So we must have to proceed row wise. Let us check row wise whether the first element along the first row, what do we get? If I replace this by R1, replace by R1 plus R2 plus R3, then let us check what do we get? This plus this plus this. Then in this case there is possibility of getting A plus B plus C. Here also the same thing, here also the same thing will go on. So in the next step we shall be proceeding with that format only, that property only. So coming to step 2. In step 2 we shall replace R1 by R1 plus R2 plus R3. So in this case, let us check what do we get. Along the first row, the terms will be like A plus B plus C. Here also it will be A plus B plus C, and in this case also it is A plus B plus C. So the remaining rows will remain as it is. B minus C minus A, here this is twice B, this is twice C, then twice C, then C minus A minus B. So this is the result we are getting. So from the first row we can take common A plus B plus C. Taking common A plus B plus C, what do we get? 1, 1, 1. Here this is twice B, then B minus C minus A. Here this is twice B, then this is twice C, then C minus A minus B. Since the first row is carrying maximum number of ones, therefore we can proceed in this way. We shall have to proceed column wise to get zeros. So I prefer to proceed like this. C1 replaced by C1 minus C3. At the same time C2 replaced by C2 minus C3. Means with respect to the third column, there will be changes in first two columns. So C1 minus C3 will give us 0. Here also this is 0. Then 2C minus C plus A plus B, means after subtracting this element from this one, the result will come as A plus B plus C. Then at the same time I am subtracting second column, third column from the second one. So here it will be 0. Then after the result will be subtracting this term from this one, we shall be getting A plus B plus C, negative of A plus B plus C, and here similarly it will be A plus B plus C, and the terms left here will be 1 twice B, then C minus A minus B. So it is very clear that from the first column and second column we can take common a plus b plus c and a plus b plus c, and one a plus b plus c term originally present outside the determinant. So in total there are 3 a plus b plus c terms we are getting multiplied to each other outside the determinant. So it is a plus b plus c. In total it will be whole cube. Then after 0 0 1, here this is 0 minus 1 1, then after 1 twice b, then c minus a minus b. So we can expand along either along row 1 or c1, I mean column 1 or row 1. So I prefer to proceed with row 1. So here I shall be getting a plus b plus c whole cube, then only 1 will be left behind, then 0 into 1, the result will be 0, then minus minus plus, it will be 1. So we can write here expanding along R1, expanding along R1. Ultimately this is left behind. So this is the required right hand side. So this is the answer of question number 11, Roman 1. Similar type of question is question number 11, Roman 2. This is question number 11, the second question. It is given like this: x plus y plus twice z, here x, here this is y, then this is z, then after y plus z plus twice x, then after here this is y, then after z x I get here, then z plus x plus twice y. This result should be twice x plus y plus z whole cube. So starting with the LHS, in the proof part, let's start with the LHS. In the LHS part, let's repeat it again. Twice z x, this is y, then z, y plus z plus twice x, then after y, then z x, this is x plus z plus x plus 2y. So it is very clear that for getting twice x plus y plus z, suppose if we sum up, means if c1 is replaced by c1 plus c2 plus c3, we shall be getting the term twice x plus y plus z all along c1. So what we shall do here, c1 replaced by c1 plus c2 plus c3. If we proceed row wise, then the things will not be possible like this: x plus y plus z. So here in this case again twice x plus y plus z. In this case again it is x plus y plus z. So the terms left here are x, y, then y plus z plus twice x, then again y, then after x, z plus x plus twice y. So these are the things left. So it is very clear that from the first row we can take common, from the first column we can take common twice x plus y plus z, leaving behind all ones along c1. X, y, the rest of the columns will remain as it is, nothing to change. This is y, this is x, then z plus x plus 2y. Then after we shall try to get maximum number of zeros along c1. For that, what do we have to do? I would like to prefer like this: R1 replaced by R1 minus R3. At the same time, R2 replaced by R2 minus R3. So let us check what do we get. Y plus z. So from first row I am subtracting the third row and replacing that in row 1. So this is 0, this is 0 again. So y minus this part will be minus x plus y plus z. Similarly, here also it will be 0. Then we can write here x plus y plus z. Then after, here again after subtraction, we shall be getting minus x plus y plus z. 1 x, then z plus x plus 2y. So very clearly we can take common x plus y plus z from the first row. Again from the second row we can take common x plus y plus z. So in total this x plus y plus z was initially present. So in total 3 such terms are multiplied outside the determinant. So what are the things left inside? Minus 1, then 0, 1, again minus 1, then 1 x, z plus x plus 2y. So after this, if I want to expand along C1, we shall be getting terms like 1 gets multiplied with product of these two terms will be 0, followed by product of these two terms, means minus minus plus, it is 1. So what did I do? Expanding along C1. So I shall be getting here twice x plus y plus z whole cube, and this is the required right hand side. So this is the solution of the second question of question number 11. 11 Roman 2. So next we are coming to question number 12. So in question number 12, the question is like this. This is question number 12. We have to prove that 1 x square, actually this determinant involving the elements x, then after x square 1 should be equal to 1 minus x cube whole square. So in the proof part, proceeding with the LHS. LHS is this one, 1 x square, then after x square 1 x, then after x square, then 1. So very clearly, if we proceed row wise, then we shall be able to get this term. Let us check. If I replace R1 by R1 plus R2 plus R3, then we shall get 1 plus x square. Similarly 1 plus x square. Similarly 1 plus x square. Then the remaining rows will remain as it is, x square 1. So from the very first row we can take common 1 plus x square. Along the first row the terms will be like this, x square, then 1, then x square, then after 1. Since there are 3 ones along the first row of this determinant, therefore we should try to get maximum number of zeros along this row. So 1 plus x square. So here in this case what we shall be doing, let us try to make changes like this. R2 replaced by R2 minus R1. Sorry, we have to proceed column wise. So this is not R2, R means R we cannot write here. Instead we have to put like this. C2 replaced by C2 minus C1, then C3 replaced by C3 minus C1. So let us check what changes will occur here. 1, x square x, means with respect to C1 all the changes are occurring, therefore this has to be kept as it is, nothing to change here. So this column minus this one will be 0, then 1 minus x square, then after x square minus x. Similarly in the last column also there will be 0, then x minus x square, then 1 minus x. So after this what do we have to do? 1 plus x square, 1 x square, x will remain as it is, 0, then 1 minus x, here we can write 1 plus x. If I take common minus here and x is taken out, in that case it will be again 1 minus x. Then here also it is 0, then if x is taken common, then it will be 1 minus x again, then 1 minus x. So very clearly from C2 and C3 we can take out 1 minus x, then after 1 minus x. So 1 minus x whole square is taken out and it will be getting multiplied with the term previously present outside the determinant. So 1 x square x, here it is 0, then 1 minus x, this is minus x, this is 0, then x, then this is 1. So expanding along the first row, since there are maximum number of zeros along the first row, we can perform expansion along that row only. Plus x square. So here it is 1 gets multiplied with 1 minus x into 1 remain as it is, minus minus plus, it is x square. So we can write here expanding along R1, expanding along R1. So we shall be getting here 1 minus x whole square, then 1 plus x square, one more term like this. There is a change here, this will be plus actually, here also this is plus, so this is 1 plus x square. So in total we can, combining all these three terms, we can write like this: 1 minus x whole into 1 plus x square whole thing square. This is of the form a cube minus b cube. How? A minus b whole into a square plus ab plus b square. So using this formula we can write 1 cube minus x cube whole square, and the result will be like this: 1 minus x cube whole square. So this is the required answer. This is the required right hand side. So these are the solutions of question number 11 and 12 of exercise 4.2. Thank you.